Hello everybody and welcome. Just going to check a couple of things here before we start our broadcast for this evening. All right, let's just do a quick mic check here. Check and see that everything is working okay. My camera is aimed off to the side here, so tweak that there. All right. There we go. Looking like we're getting audio there. I'll let a couple people hop on in. This video is actually for the one and only Eugene Myers, aka ECmyersVids. He had done a live stream the other day of shut the phone down real quick, of Days of Thunder for the NES, and so he was having some issues with a couple of parts of the game, so I figured we'd go ahead. Hey, Eugene's here. There he is, the man with the plan. So I figured we would do a little bit of testing with a new system, at least a new to me. We are testing out on, yeah, there we go. This is the Gamerz Tek HD-2, or the Super HD-2. Basically, it is a 2-in-1 system that'll do both the NES and the Super NES, along with Super Famicom games too. It is compatible with PAL and NTSC games, and I've done a little bit of testing with it so far. I'm really digging it, although this is the first actual gameplay that I will be doing here on the stream with the the Super HD-2. Now, it does come with two Super NES style controllers. Sorry, I guess I had the box. Let me pull back a little bit. Hopefully this looks a little bit better. Does come with two NES style or Super NES style controllers there. I am actually using, while I do have some of the Gamerz Tek controllers, I am using an actual NES controller here. So, feels like I'm in Daytona. Yes, but you'll see actual passing here versus at Daytona where it is just follow the leader. Don't forget to go ahead and leave us a thumbs up and a like if you are here. If this is your first time here, I greatly appreciate and welcome you to our stream. We stream a couple nights a week. We try to. But now, like I mentioned, the whole reason for this stream, ECmyersVids, make sure you check out his channel there too. He streamed this the other night and had some issues specifically with getting around the track and with some of the pitting as well. So we're going to dive into it here. And one of the things, I know some people may think that it's just an oval, wide open, turn left, right? How hard is that? Well, there is some, especially in this game, there is some throttle work that you need to do, throttle and brake, along with pit sequences as well. So first things first, before any race, before you can race, you got to qualify. So we're going to go to qualifying here. Actually let off the gas a little bit too much there. So what you need to do is actually lay off of the gas or just tap the brake going into the corners. And once the car takes a set, you can actually throttle back up. The main thing that you need to do here is slow in, fast out. That was actually kind of a poor lap time at a 25.8. There's a 24-second lap in the car. And obviously the shortest way around the track is always going to be the fastest, at least in the NES style games. And what you want to do, there's, oh, just missed that 24. The other thing that you're doing here is you're reducing wear and tear on the right side tires. Now, if you do drag on the inside part of the track, that will increase the wear on the left side of the tires. Now, if you see the right sides are yellow, they have lost some of their grip. So, again, you have to modulate the throttle coming through. There's a 25.3. This was really a terrible game. Let me know. I'm not hearing a whole lot of game audio. Let me make sure, or let me know, guys, in the chat if you're able to hear everything okay as far as game audio and as far as I go. So it ranged from a 25 flat to a 25.8. This is a fun game to play. It is. Hey, Edgar, how you doing? Make sure if you guys are in the chat, say hi. So I did manage to qualify third. Now, one of the things in this game, it is hard to pass. Again, very much like the real NASCAR now, unfortunately. And if you run into the rear end too often of the cars in front of you, you'll actually take damage to the engine and it'll slow you down. So let's see what we can do. So there you see on the start, I lost a position here. I'm already back to fourth, but trying to battle back. Now, some of the AI drivers will throw the block pretty rapidly. Other ones will, okay, if you got the inside line, they'll let you go. Now, one thing I don't like about this game, and at least NASCAR-wise, I think Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge is a much superior game. That's available from Konami. You know, your car does not hold the line very well from the moment you get on the gas or even enter the corner. The car starts to understeer or push towards the wall. There we got it. Yes, got up to third. So now I'm going to educate you guys on some racing terms. So oversteer is when the rear end of the car slides out and basically you have to counter steer it. Think of oversteer if you're ever on black ice or a really slick road. Oversteer is when the rear end wants to swing around on you. Understeer is when you go to make a corner and the car just wants to go straight. Another way to think of it, and you know, on an NES game you don't quite get this, but with oversteer, the rear end of the car would hit a wall first, and with understeer, the front end of the car hits the wall first. So now the right side tires are taking wear. I'm about halfway through this fuel run. And if you keep an eye on the tachometer and the speedometer on the gauges, I'm having to carry less RPM through the corners. The left sides are now showing wear. I'm 5 laps in. But this is where it's important not necessarily to go balls to the walls, full-blown, full tilt boogie from the drop of the green flag. You have to modulate the throttle to try to be as consistent as you can over the course of an entire run. For those who are just joining, this is Days of Thunder. We are playing on the Gamerz Tek Super HD-2. This is their 2-in-1 system that they have been, that they announced late last year and just recently started to ship. I think I've got about another, maybe one more lap of fuel. I'm actually catching up to second place. Now, unlike in other NASCAR games, the draft does not seem to really have much of an effect here. You have to slow down to come into pits. You have to actually manipulate all of your pit crew. So there I've got left side tires changed. Come around to the right. And we'll get the right front. The left front. Now the guy at the very top He's the guy that if you have engine damage, that he will actually repair that for you. So we lost 2 spots in the pits. But we've got 4th place right in front of us. So my goal is until, well, I've still got the good on the tires, to stay under 4,000 RPM, between 3,500 and 4,000 RPM going through the corners. That will kind of extend the life and keep some of the abuse off of it. And again, the main thing you want to do is you want to accelerate from the middle of the corner out. That'll get you the most speed possible down the back straightaway. Even though they show this more as a quad oval. We are catching up to the 4th place car. I have done some experimenting and some playing with some other games with the 2-in-1 HD so far from Gamerz Tek. And some of the things that they've done has actually been an improvement over their 16-bit HD, for example. When I was in Germany, I actually purchased the PAL version of Yoshi's Island, and the 16-bit HD would not play it. This one does. Now you can see the engine, I've taken some damage to it. I've rear-ended too many cars, so now it's turned yellow. So what that's doing is that's cost me about 10 miles an hour down the front straightaway. This is the final lap. I'm not going to be able to catch 4th place in front of me, I don't think. Now, one thing I could have done, you see all the fuel that's left on the left-hand side. I could have taken not quite as much gas going or coming out of the pits and gotten out of the pits a little bit quicker. Qualified 3rd, finished 5th. Let's take a look here. There isn't much game audio to start with. There isn't, but at least if you guys can hear the sound of the engine, the music here, I want to make sure everything is working well. Yep, Eugene, that's basically how Daytona's done. Now, with the other tracks, it is different because they are different shapes, different length straightaways. The hardest part of this game is consistently getting your pit crew lined up with the... Hey, Tom, welcome to the stream. Getting your pit crew lined up with the tasks they need to complete. Especially as you saw, I kind of got hung up with both the front and the rear tire changers coming around the car. I had to go up and down a little bit more to actually get them to service the car. Another thing I want you guys all to notice, again, this is playing on the Gamerz Tek, the Super HD-2. If you notice, it's in 4:3 aspect ratio. This can do both 4:3 or 16:9. Pretty cool there. Now, the preview of, or the unboxing of this console is filmed. It is edited. It'll be rendering tonight. It'll be up tomorrow for Patreons. So there I finished 5th. Got 155 points. You will get an extra 5 points if you lead a lap. I did not. Yeah, Tom, I played this a ton as a kid as well. Now here we're going to Atlanta. This is a more traditional oval, a little bit smaller than Daytona. A little bit more banking, I think. I think this is 36 degrees, where Daytona is only 33. Now with this is before the kind of reconfiguration to make it a D-shaped oval like Charlotte. So this is more traditional, what you would find in the 90s. So the main thing, again, it's roll speed. Your horsepower and traction limited. So how much roll speed can you carry from the middle of the corner out? What that also does for you is, if you think about it, you're lengthening the straightaway. Yes, you're not going straight per se, but you're increasing the amount of time that you are at full throttle. You know, the key to any kind of racing, whether you're talking video games, RC cars, go-karts, full-size cars, slow in, fast out. Now, there are times when you will need to just, slam a car into a corner and kind of pack it in there. And, pretty consistent 12.4, 12.5 second laps there. Qualified second outside the front row, and I'm not a very good qualifier. I tend to race better than I qualify. But when you do slow and fast out, it just gets you that extra oomph down the back or front straightaway. That's where your passes are made, is going into a corner, not coming out of a corner, generally speaking. Now, with Atlanta, you can actually somewhat flat-foot it through the corners, and you can almost go, it's called going WFO, wide effing open. But if you do, you're going to abuse the daylights of your tires. And this is where it takes quite a bit to kind of set up the pass on the cars in front of you. And it's also one of those things where you need to make sure that you don't abuse your equipment. And there I'm kind of hitting the apron a little bit. No, too close. I don't want to take damage to the nose. Oh, he's throwing the block again. Now, on this one, too, Eugene, kind of like what you were seeing, I'm seeing the white speckles on screen, which I was not seeing at Daytona. Just can't get a good run. There we go. Kept him behind me. Yes, there's my 5 bonus points for leading the lap. Now, at this point, what I need to do is try to stretch my lead out. Keep an eye on the fuel. And I know that the AI cars do not need to pit where I will. Again, this is Days of Thunder for the NES being played on the Gamerz Tek Super HD-2. I'm using a regular NES controller instead of the included Super NES controllers. Now you can see the right side tires have gone purple. The left sides are yellow. I know some people will try to do just a 2-tire change to speed up their pit stops. They figure that you just need the right side tires. I have yet to find an instance in here where taking 2 tires versus 4 is advantageous. Tried to go way too fast through that corner, and you could kind of hear how I couldn't get on the gas until late. I try to also stay in 4th gear. The reason for that, when you're turning fewer RPM, you'll actually burn a little bit less fuel. All right, I'm going to pit next time by. All right, left side tires coming off. Make sure that you hit the B button to cycle through your pit crew so that you can get through there as quickly as possible. Got hung up on the right rear again. Come on. Dang it, I lost the lead. All right, we're going to try short filling and see what we can get. Down to 3rd. Could not get the car out of the pits, unfortunately. I thought I could just hit the start button and have it disengage the gas man. Did not work. You actually have to hit the A button to have him disconnect from the fueler's nozzle. But even there, too, relatively clean pit stop and still had a couple issues with the City Chevrolet, crew chief by Harry Hyde, driven by Cole Trickle. And there my engine just took damage. It's one of those where, you know, I kind of wish that would have happened before I went in the pits. That way I could have fixed it. But I'm now catching Rowdy Burns. And I think that's Russ Wheeler ahead of me, too. Played by Carrie Elways and the guy who played, what was it, in Guardians of the Galaxy. And played Merle in Walking Dead. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. We'll check the chat in just a moment. So here you can see, even though I'm not getting the straightaway speed, I am somewhat pulling up to second place in the corners. And please don't ever quote Darrell Waltrip. The walking hyperbole machine. Now, and this is where I say the graphics I don't think are as good on Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge, but it's the car control is so much better. Ooh. That car didn't push off that corner, it shoved. I may actually have to come in for a splash of fuel here. And here I was going to try to short pit. I don't know how many laps this race is. If this isn't the white flag, I'm going to have to come by next time by. Fuel only, no tires. So I managed to hang on to third. It was the last lap. I could have just taken a splash and go, let's see here. It is WrestleMania week. It'll be interesting to see what happens this week. Let's see. How are the controllers? Oh, hey, Ryan, I didn't see in here. These are the same controllers that come with the Super HD-2 that the 16-bit HD came with. So I really, really dig them myself. Very comfortable and everything. For this, it only comes with 2 Super NES-style controllers. So I'm actually just using a regular NES controller right now. Although the NES Gamerz Tek controllers I really like too. DW would say short-term gain, long-term loss. That's right. Remind me of the stunts for the M's dues. I don't know what that means, Eugene. Let's see. Michael Roker, yep, thank you very much. How is the film Days of Thunder? It's terrible. It is terrible. Just terrible. Days of Thunder is a terrible movie. Hope your Easter's fun. Solid weekend all around. Thanks, Ryan. Check it out. Good to hear. There's only one redeeming factor to Days of Thunder, and that's Nicole Kidman, because she was just hot. But think of Top Gun and put it in NASCAR, and that's what it is, but worse. So is that Hyperkin Atari console legit? I heard about it before, but can't trust anyone today. It is legit. It is something they're working on. It's been delayed so many times. I think it's one of those that they're just trying to spread the word, but I don't know. I wish that they would do a little bit more to improve their communication, but there's nothing much that we can do about that besides just say, hey guys, if you can improve your communication, that would be really, really awesome. What else would be really, really awesome if you're in here? We've got a dozen people so far. Make sure you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. That definitely helps things out. Now you can see here too, again, kind of like what I was talking about, points-wise, 170 points, same points as the car who finished second. I got that 5 bonus points for leading a lap. Thought so. Hyperkin is good at that. Yes. So we are 65 points out of the lead? No. 70 minus 25 is 45 points out of the lead. 20 points out of second place in points. Probably more legit than Atari's new console. Very true. So now we're going to go to Talladega. Now, if you've never been to Talladega, Alabama, as they call it, this is Redneck Mardi Gras. And that's not me sliding them. That's actually what these people call it, is Redneck Mardi Gras. It is slightly longer at 2.66 miles versus 2.5 miles. Slightly longer than Daytona. And a little bit more banking, too. But in the game, it's essentially the same, just a different color palette, really. So far, Josh, I am absolutely loving this system. I have been a fan of the Gamerz Tek systems since I got the 8-bit HD. I think it does an amazing job for the money at playing NES games just very, very well. One thing that, and I have a shootout video, actually 2 of them, with the 8-bit HD versus the Hyperkin Super Retron HD and the Retrobit RES Plus. And I thought the color palette and the audio was far superior on the Gamerz Tek 8-bit HD than the other 2 systems. One of them that I really ding pretty much everything on, and I haven't tested this one yet, 25 flat, good lap there, is the coins in Super Mario Brothers. That's one of those things where I have yet to hear a budget clone console that does the coins in Mario's right. Even the Super Retro Trio Plus, which I absolutely love, doesn't do the audio right on Super Mario Brothers on the coins. I have not done that test on here yet. 25.2. Going to go for our 4th lap here. And then, I don't know how long you've been in the chat here, but I had mentioned a little bit earlier, that I had brought back a copy of Yoshi's Island from Germany when I was over there in February, and the 16-bit HD from Gamerz Tek actually would not play it. It wouldn't recognize it. Whereas this system did qualify 3rd yet again. I gotta go to Daytona. That's very cool. Collector version. I think we'll play that collector. That's cool. Saw RGT85 talk about, should be neat. Loved your shootout videos. Thanks. Here anytime, Josh. MS-DOS is Microsoft Disk Operating System. Oh yeah. The system only works. Nope, completely understand that. You just lost me a little bit with the spacing on there. So let's see what we can do at Talladega. I did not see the number of laps. Did anyone see the lap count? Kind of forced the issue there on the start. Managed to hang on to 3rd. Now again, this is one of those things of the top 2, Rowdy Burns and Russ Wheeler. The AI for those 2 cars are much better than the competition, so you can see that yellow and red car kind of throwing the block as I try to get a run on them. It's kind of irritating that those cars never move around in the corners like your car does. Run on the inside, force the issue, can't do it. Getting frustrated here, not driving clean. And oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, clean racing is fast racing. So as I mentioned earlier too, I do have the unboxing video of this that'll be live tomorrow for patrons. Also have the unboxing video for the Gamerz Tek 8-Bit Boy NES clone console that'll be live tomorrow for patrons. And then we'll space those out this week for the general public consumption. Also have the unboxing of the Mini Gen HD from Gamerz Tek. If you can't tell, we got a care package from Gamerz Tek this weekend. So that was pretty cool. Also working on a video showing further how to clean cartridges that you may have just picked up from, you know, eBay, your local swap meets, local stores, what have you. Make sure you check out, if you haven't done so yet, John Riggs always does great tutorials on how to clean and maintain your games, and I had recently sent him a bottle of a cleaning solution that I have used for years called Bright Boy, and basically also got some a care package from the guys over at oneup.com to show basically how I use the Bright Boy in conjunction with the 1UP cards to really make sure that before I put any new to me game in my system that the game is as clean as can be, because I don't want to contaminate my system with dirt from someone else's game that I've just recently acquired. And if you are looking for those 1UP cards, make sure you head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. Use promo code ROX10. You can actually save 10% on the entire lineup of 1UP cards, the cleaners for the systems as well. And any order of $20 or more gets you free shipping and handling. Oh, damn it. I went through the pits too fast. I wonder if I've got enough fuel to get through to the pits one more time. This is going to be a stretch. Nope, you stay back behind me, fourth place car. Back to fourth. I'm screwed here. I went through the pits way too fast, so I'm going to run out of fuel. I don't think I can coast around to get... Yep, I'm done. Let's see. Supposedly the first version of Gamerz Tek 8-Bit had better audio for Mario and could run the EverDrive, but Castlevania 3's music was horrendous. They fixed... Okay. Clone systems galore. Are you going to do a comparison of the Super NES part? Garage Gamer, I don't own an analog Super NT. I was going to buy one, and I kept looking at everybody else that I knew and respected that were doing reviews on them, and I didn't really have much to add to them. I really like the more budget-friendly consoles that are out there, simply because there's... I look at it very similar, and we'll get to the gameplay again here in a second. I look at it very similar to the RC market. The racer market, I look at as those who would buy an FPGA type system. They're roughly 5 to 10% of the market. You've got that other 90% that they need or are interested. Good night, Edgar. Thanks for stopping by. Or Chit Chat, you can send me your analog and I'll send it back. How about that? I would rather focus on what the vast majority of people will probably be shopping for, be looking at. Those of us who know what an FPGA is, know what an OSSC is, know what a FrameMeister is, you know what, there's very little that I can add to that conversation. Again, when you have people who do great reviews on those, like Chit Chat Gaming, like Mad Little Pixel, like Metal Jesus Rocks, like the guys over at My Life in Gaming, you know what? There's not much I can really add to that conversation. But something like this, I think, will have a broader mass appeal. And it's more for, my feeling at least, is it's more for the people who, hey, I found my old NES collection in my parents' garage as they were selling the house. I remember how much fun that these were. I want to share this experience with my kids. So that's why I tend to focus more on these. The one thing I will do, however, Garage Gamer, is the the HD Retrovision cables for the Super NES and for the Genesis, I have a set, thanks to Ryan at CastlemaniaGames.com, and I am working on reviews of both of those. I'm just waiting for my OSSC to get here because my capture card will not do 240p, and even though they look tremendous, it's still only 240p. So I thought about doing it like guerrilla style, where I set my camera out in front of it and just shoot with me playing in front of my TV. I wanted to do it right, so that's why I've got the OSSC coming. I've already ordered it. I'm trying to help raise some money to help offset that expense. That's what the fundraising goal you guys see in the top left corner. So is that out already? Yes, I agree with you. Is what out already? The OSSC or the HD Retrovision cables? The OSSC is, because I got the notification earlier today that it is in New York somewhere going through customs. And the HD Retrovision cables, head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. Promo code ROX10 saves you 10% on those bad boys. But, so like I mentioned, I'm going to do a comparison when I do the review of this system and of the Mini-Gen, comparing those to what the HD Retrovision cables look like. If you already have a Super NES, no, yes, the HD2 is out and shipping. They had been delayed for some time. I know they were having problems getting them through customs. Talking to those guys, I can completely relate. It's can kind of be a crapshoot. That killed me in the points. Am I getting a telegram? No, I didn't get a telegram. So Dover is a 1 mile concrete oval, very low grip compared to an asphalt oval. And part of the reason for that is the fact that concrete does not retain heat like asphalt will. And Dover is often called Dover Downs because it actually has a horse racing track in the infield. Now, the one thing I do wish that they had, although at this point it may not have been there, is going down the back straightaway. There is a very, it's a trademark landmark at the track. There is a pedestrian crossover bridge that goes over the back straightaway, and it's really neat to see the cars. Ooh, 12.4, going faster. Getting some heat in the tires. Tires, Cole, tires. These tires are specially mounted and balanced. You can pass on the outside. Did not get off the corner very well there. We have the SNES cables and the Genesis cables now. Saturn PS1 and Genesis 1 adapters will be restocked next week. Thanks, Ryan. Need them for the PS, let me know, Ryan. This off Genesis in hopes of a good FPGA. Yep. Oh, I qualified second outside of the front row. Let's see what we can do here. And again, I wasn't paying attention to how many laps this is. Did anyone see the number of laps? Now, one thing in reality is a concrete track has less wear and tear on the tires just due to the lack of grip. Basically, when you have less grip, there's also less rolling resistance, and it will reduce tire wear. So the whole reason right here, I'm trying to set him up so that I can get the best run possible coming off of the corner to be able to pass him sooner than later and make the move going into the corner. There's the engine, and the left sides are both torched right now. So you guys get to see, Eugene, you get to see how to use the engine repair dude. Pushing it way too hard right now. Trying to keep Russ Wheeler behind me as we try to chase down Rowdy Burns. we're catching the leader here, actually. Three-way battle for the lead. Now, if you guys want to as well, got the lead. See, it is possible to do well even if you do have damage to the engine. So the first weekend in June, I will actually be the race director at the second annual Horizon Hobby RC Fest out at Eli Field in Monticello, Illinois. We will have 2 days of racing on track between 8-scale buggies, 8-scale truggies, and 4-wheel drive short course trucks. For more information, you can head to horizonhobby.com, look for RC Fest, and come and have some fun with hobbies. We'll have some great demonstrations of the airplanes. We will have the Losi Super Baja Ray on site, where we'll have some demo races. I actually think, and this is no joke, I actually think Juan Pablo Montoya will be there for at least one, if not both days. We are actually an official partner, supporter, sponsor of JPM in his Daytona prototypes that he runs with Penske. Juan is a longtime RC jet pilot and flies with our Spectrum brand of controllers and transmitters. So there's how, if you take damage to the engine, how you can kind of recoup that. Wow, losing a lot of spots here. Well, Ryan, I'm hoping we will have everything broadcast. We actually use a scoring system called LiveTime, where if you go to liverc.com, you can actually listen to and watch the broadcast live. We will have, let's think, who are some of the companies that will be there. Team Associated will be there. Tamiya, or actually no, Team Associated won't be there, but they'll have raffle prizes there. Tamiya America will be there. Venom RC will be there. I believe we will have, who else is going to be there? FMS Models, I believe, will be there, in addition to Losi, Team Losi Racing, Spectrum, E-Flight, Hangar 9, Park Zone, Hobby Zone, Dynamite RC, and our newly acquired Hobbico brands, because we just purchased Hobbico, one of the two largest RC manufacturers and distributors in the world. They were going through bankruptcy, and we actually purchased them last week, although nothing is final until this Friday when everything goes through the final proceedings and is proved by the court. So exciting times. If you guys don't see me streaming or upload as frequently as normal, that's part of the reason why, is because I am busy AF with combining systems from this purchase. So we don't know everything that that's going to entail at this time, but it is definitely exciting. So now, Eugene, if you're here in the chat, does this kind of make a little bit better sense to you on how to do the pit stops, get through the corners, and actually race a race on this? Not to be sound like a smartass about it, but how to actually race through Days of Thunder? Because I know that you were having quite a bit of issues. I think we're looking at a top 3 again here. Just getting the pit crew to work and making passes, getting qualifying down. Does this at least make a little bit more sense? RC cars, yes, we are. Amazon sent me another AV to HDMI box as a replacement. Oh no, I'm sorry, MC. Close here, they really get into it and it can be inexpensive. Yes, they have races every Saturday. Casamate, Ryan, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by again. And thanks for joining the Patreon. I appreciate that as well. It would actually be a lot of fun. Cool. I was working my RCs yesterday, getting ready for spring bashing. Tom, what do you have? What are you driving? And Chit Chat, what's the name of the store? I might actually know about it. It does. Looks like an actual game. Yeah. Now, and the thing that's kind of a bummer, though, is, you know, okay, I had that one DNF at Talladega where I ran out of fuel. MC, don't forget that promo starts. Actually, I think it started today that I let you know about. I just lost. Oh, I'll probably have a telegram here that says that I'm not doing well enough. So let's see. So picked up 170 points. Where am I in points now? Because I have that, you know, 12th in points. No! So we're going to Pocono, the tricky triangle. I gave them the option to replace this one, but they failed. Yeah. So Pocono is an interesting track because it's actually based on 3 other tracks. Turn 1 is based on... Oh, crud, where was it? Well, Turn 2 is based on Indianapolis, and Turn 3 is based on the Milwaukee Mile. The Milwaukee Mile. I can't remember what it was. What was Turn 1? Was Turn 1 Atlanta or Charlotte? I miss going to races at the mile. I went there the year that NASCAR came back and the then Busch Series and the Craftsman Truck Series came there, and we were sitting, my dad, mom, and I, we were sitting just coming out of Turn 4, and Jerry Glanville, the former coach of 30 laps. Okay, hey, I caught that, 30 laps. The former coach of the Atlanta Falcons was actually racing in the Truck Series, and he spun out 4 times right in front of us. Revo 3.3, Jado 3.3, easing into electric with the 16th scale Revo. See, I hate watching races at Pocono. If Pocono, Michigan, and California each lost a date, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Tom, we need to get you into some ECX or some Losi vehicles. I think you would really, really be pleasantly surprised with how well that they work and just are a joy to drive. Ooh, good start there up to 3rd. See, I'm also one of those guys, though, too. I love road course racing. I wish that there was a road course race every month. But I'm also a huge Formula One fan, too. Still remember the year that Steve Park had that just terrible crash going down the back straightaway and almost went into or up and over the berm that they have. And I want to say, wasn't it Pocono where Clifford Allison died? Or was it, that's where Davey was leaving in his helicopter crash? I don't remember. Got the run on the outside. Made the pass. See, that's the one thing I hate about this game is you can't set someone up to pass. Because the AI cars, they never slow down. They never have any poor handling characteristics. You basically have to dive bomb them kind of like that. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to pass them. You're going to clip them with your front bumper, and after a couple hits, it's going to hurt your engine and bite you in the rear end. All right, 6 laps in, we've got the lead. Now, if we lead the most laps, we get another 5-point bonus. Back when NASCAR's point system actually was good. You know, before the chase for the championship. All right, 30-lap race. We're almost halfway through. This might actually be a 2-stop race. I don't know how I'm going to get to 15 laps on this run here, looking at where I'm at fuel-wise now. So I may actually divide this into thirds, coming at lap 11, a lap 21, or 22, and then try to have fresher tires for the end. I don't even know if I'm going to make it past lap 9. I'm going to have to pit this time by. There is no way that that fuel is going to last. All right, just got passed for the lead right there. I do wish that there was a way that you could have your pit crew member, or have another pit crew member that would go across. Because at this time there was another air gun guy that would go through and, wow, I'm losing spots like crazy here, that would loosen the lugs on the right side of the car. All right, we're going to need all the gas possible. Hey, John, how you doing? Hey, I fixed your name in the header if you keep an eye on it. You missed it earlier. We were at Daytona. Trying to stay off of him. I don't want to get front end damage on this. Oh no, I've got damage to the left rear. Looks like I'm leaking fuel. God bless it. I hate when it happens. So that's why if you look in the lower left, or the right-hand corner, the lower left-hand part of my car, I took damage to the frickin' gas tank. Now again, this is the Gamerz Tek Super HD-2. They had been calling it the 2-in-1. I really like the fact that they changed the name of it. 2-in-1, yeah, it was very accurate as far as what it was, but I mean, it was kind of meh. I didn't think the name was very, it was descriptive, but it wasn't really something catchy. This, I think, we're kind of like Hyperkin has the Retron. And there's the Super Retro Trio Plus for Retrobit. Okay, halfway mark. I may actually come in this time and just get right side tires. Tires, Cole, tires. Let's see if I can't fix whatever's going on with the fuel tank too. Gotta come in next time by, because I will not make another lap after that. Should be. I know I fixed it just earlier tonight, Gio. Or John, sorry. Old habit, what can I say? So we're going to take just right side tires here, right sides. For some reason I had to short pit. And I wish you could fuel while the car is up on jack stand, or up on the jacks too. They dropped the XL. Yes, they did do that. I noticed that. The one thing I was not expecting, and I played it quite a bit last night, Eugene, is it almost seems like the display is larger than the Switch, and I think that's actually the case. I'm going to measure it out. I also didn't expect it to be able to hook up to a TV or to have that little dock on there. I'm really digging that system right now. I think for everything that it does, there is, it's just a really good value. I do wish that the display were a little bit higher quality, but again, you get what you pay for. And at $100, it's pretty damn good. That's another one that I need to do the Super Mario Brothers test on it to see how the audio is. Got a little bit too high there. Can't quite tell if this is a lap or if this is for position. Kind of thinking it's for position. Now, at this point, what I could do too is, I know I can do 8 to 9 laps, no problem. Looking at my tire situation and everything, I could do what's called short pit, and it's actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the pits next time by, top off my fuel, that way I know I'm good fuel-wise, get 4 fresh tires, and that way I'll be able to push towards the end to try to make the most of this finish. And by short pitting, basically what this does is it means that I don't have to spend as much time waiting on the gas man to fill up the tank. Getting that jack man aligned up with where he's got to be is not always the easiest. Now, for those of you who are curious too, the main character or the main car owner here of in Days of Thunder, he was actually patterned after actual NASCAR car owner Rick Hendrick. Rick was and still is a car or Chevy dealer owner in the Carolinas, and his first driver in the number 5 Levi's Chevrolet Monte Carlo was Jeffrey Bodine. At that point, it was just Jeff Bodine. And then later on, they added the 25 car with Ken Schrader, 17 of Darrell Waltrip, and eventually this rookie in the 24 car named Jeff Gordon. You may have heard of him. And then eventually added other drivers like Ricky Craven has driven for them, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Casey Kane, Casey Mears, Kyle Busch, Terry Labonte. Drivers that have won championships for Hendrick Motorsports include 7-time champion, although he's won them all in the chase, so I don't know how, weigh that how you will. Jimmy Johnson. You also have 4-time champion Jeff Gordon, 2-time champion, once with Hendrick, once with his original team, the 44 car. I think it was Bud, it wasn't Bud Moore, but Terry Labonte also won a championship for Rick Hendrick. We'll keep an eye on the chat here. We've got a little bit under 2 laps to go. I'll check the chat in a second. I do appreciate you guys coming by, checking out, chatting amongst yourselves, supporting the channel, giving us the comments, the thumbs up, the likes, the shares. Always a good thing. And like I say, if you head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/rocksod for as little as $1 a month, you do get early access to our video content. And we'll have a video up tomorrow and Tuesday for Patreons for sure. Thinking Wednesday, Thursday as well. I'll just say at this point, it's looking good for 4 days worth of uploads to Patreon. Nice try, buddy.
Nice try, buddy.
Think it's definitely bigger than the Switch. Think Switch is 6.2. Yep. Name is not there. I don't know why it wasn't. They're only good at molding. I would try to swap out the screen of the 8-bit boy with something from a tablet. Yep, I agree with that. Let me see here, John. I don't know why it's not popping up. Sorry, guys. Trying to fix this technical glitch here real quick. If this is your first time here, absolutely welcome. I appreciate you guys coming by. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. That way you are kept up to date each and every time. Well, let's do this. 0401. And let's... You guys are going to see something pop up here just as a test real quick. Sorry, just want to make sure everything is working properly. Okay. Well, keep an eye on it, Gio. If it doesn't pop up, I will take a look at it again in a little bit. But everything looks okay on my end, so that's weird. Let's see if we have a telegram yet. So I got another top 5. You know, consistent performances except for that one. 11th in points. Here we are at Michigan. Don't know if any of you out there had the snow we had today. It was kind of ridiculous. We got about 4 inches of snow in central Illinois for Easter. You know, we're having a tremendous winter this spring, I will say that much. 19.3, decent lap. I think there's a 19 flat in the car. Yeah, the hardest part about this game really is passing. Woo! Better than a 19 flat. That was an 18.7. I will take that all day long and then some. Now that's what, you know, when we're racing, that actually, we call those hero laps. And hero laps are great, but give me the most consistent overall run. 18.6, I'll take that. Thing that's weird here is they are making it like Michigan is a tri-oval, and it's a D-shaped oval, so it's the accuracy of what they did here is fairly low. 18.6 best lap, second place on the front row. And I missed the number of laps. Damn it. All right, just try to stay with the leader here. There was, I think Kyle Petty had a NASCAR game too for the NES. I know he did for the Super NES. And one that I recently picked up again for my Eon Gaming GCHD-equipped GameCube is Dirt to Daytona. It was also available for the PlayStation 2. And just a super fun game because you actually get to go and run on the dirt tracks. You get to run the modifieds, you get to run the trucks, and you get to run the cup cars. Getting some wear on the right side tires at this point. Now, one thing traditionally, and this is again something that this game does not do well, is if you run a higher line, it will have less wear and tear on your tires. Pass for the lead. Can he make it stick? No. Went for the aggressive move there. Going back to the inside. Got him. There's 5 bonus points. But look at my abuse that I've done to my tires now. The right sides are purple already. 7 laps in. Left sides are yellow. You know, one thing I have to say, too, that a lot of people on clone consoles are, what's the lag like? What's the latency? This isn't a good test. You're not going to feel much of anything. We'll check it out with some platformers, but at least with what I'm experiencing here, I don't have anything to complain about. I'm very high on this system so far. I might even say that I like it a little bit better than the Retrobit system, but there's more testing that has to be done before I can say that. All right, into the pits again. 4-tire stop for the number 46 City Chevrolet. Now, being from Wisconsin myself, there have been a number of drivers come out of my home state. Matt Kenseth, former NASCAR champion. Alan Kowicki, former NASCAR champion. The winningest stock car driver of all time, the late, great Dick Trickle, was from northern Wisconsin. You also have Dave Marcus. You have the Sauter brothers, all from Wisconsin. Joe Shear Jr., Troy Shear, all from the Wisconsin area. Amazing tracks there in Pocono, Wisconsin. You also have, at least dirt track-wise, there used to be Hales Corner Speedway, the Milwaukee Mile, the Slinger Super Speedway, the world's fastest quarter-mile high-banked paved oval, and gorgeous Road America, just outside of Elkhart Lake. RC-wise, you also have Trackside Hobbies in Brookfield, Wisconsin. And the Deuce, which is up in West Bend. That's basically an extension of Trackside. The Midwest Triclone is also up in West Bend. Multi-time on-road national champion Paul Lemieux from Greenfield, Wisconsin. Myself, who has top qualified a few national events. Finished top 3 in a few as well. Problem with me is the older I get, the faster I was. Come on, gotta make the run, make the run, make the run, make it stick. It's one of those things where I'm overdriving the car right now trying to get by him, and I think it's going to cost me. Still snowing in Ohio. I get to see the snow on the mountains from my porch. Been the 80s here in Southern California. Thanks, Garage Gamer. Appreciate that. Retrolectors, how you guys doing? So, got 5 bonus points for leading the lap, but finished 4th. Do I get the Nasty Gram? I should be top 10 in points now, yep. Sponsor angry with your poor performance. Stop. We'll withdraw. I've had top 5s except for 1 race. Come on, guys. Why can't I post? I have to use my phone. I don't know. That's really weird. Anyone else having issues posting in the chat from a computer? Or let me know. Might be a YouTube issue that's going on. I know Smash JT was having some issues the other night with like slow upload speeds and everything. So I think they're changing some stuff on the back end right now, and it's screwing a lot of stuff up. $12.5. Spank you very much. By the way, I just got to say, too, Tom, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. How about them first-place Milwaukee Brewers? Yes, I know it's only 3 games into the season, but, man, 3-0. Taking the first 3 games of the year out at San Diego at Petco Park. Time trial's okay. Off to Phoenix. Well, here they go for the qualifying round. Time to beat, 24:09. I really don't like the fact that it causes an issue and excessive wear when you hit the apron like that, because especially at Phoenix coming through the dog leg down the back straightaway, going on the apron frees the car up, and a lot of guys do that as a shortcut. Okay, got to pick up 0.6 of a second, 0.6. So, in addition to my video game collecting and playing over the years and my RC racing, I actually was also the original co-host of, ooh, that's going to put me outside the front row right now, of Sparky's Final Inspection on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Basically, we did a 2-hour call-in post-race NASCAR show from 2004 we started, and actually the show is still going on now. You can also listen live on 105.9 WFAN, The Fan. Well, that's not going to be a good lap. I think we're going to have to settle for second spot here on the grid. Did you DM the chat info for streaming? I still need to figure out how to get you that info. I was third. How did that happen? I have been so slammed, guys. As I mentioned earlier, my company actually just bought out our biggest competitor, so I have been, yeah, it's been a long week. All right, up to third on the start. Can we hold it? Yes! So I have always loved racing games. Ever since they came out on the PlayStation, I've bought pretty much every year of the F1 series from Codemasters. Always loved on the PlayStation. Gran Turismo I thought was great. Dirt to Daytona, like I say, was a longtime favorite. Obviously, you've got the other cartoony stuff, your Super Mario Kart and whatnot. What racing games, if any, have you guys kind of played and raced and collected over the years? And do you prefer to play just on your own, or do you play online and compete against others? Oh, that was a good run off the corner, but I think I'm going to get blocked. I did. I know a lot of people, I can't remember what the Microsoft Xbox racing game is. That's kind of like their answer to Gran Turismo. I've actually never owned a Microsoft console. I almost bought one last week when they were on sale, like Best Buy and Target were doing the deal where they're $50 off on certain consoles. I just can't justify the cost right now, especially having just ordered that OSSC that we're trying to help raise some money for here on the channel. Three wide, made it stick. Holy crap. Yes, we did. Went 3 wide, went from third to first in one corner. Should be able to lead quite a few laps here before we got a pit. I think we'll be able to get to lap 8 or 9 before we got a pit. Like I say, Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge was one that I played and rented quite a bit when I was a kid. That was one of them, too, where you could do full-length races, and I actually did a Daytona 500 one night. I remember I used the NES Advantage to do it because the way Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge worked, you basically tap the control stick, in, either left or right to get around the corner. Like this, I'm just holding left or right to make moves, and that you actually had to tap it. All right, we're going to pit next time by. Pit next time by. Another series that was good there was a Nigel Mansell Formula One game that was actually available for the Super Nintendo, and John, you'll appreciate this, it was also on the Genesis, and I actually own a copy. Oh crap. Dang it. It's like, engine wrench guy, you're not doing anything. Go get the jack on that car and take care of that. And each character can only work on his specific part of the car, so you can't even mix up your Forza. That is right. Thank you. You can't even have your different pit crew members do different things. Drop from first to fourth on that pit stop. My daughter actually has an Xbox with her mom, and I kind of want one just to be able to play games with her. I really want to play Cuphead too, quite honestly, but I just don't want to spend $250, $300 to buy a system for one. Oh wait, I did that with the Switch. I mean, I used to go all in with the racing simulators. I used to buy the first Papyrus, then Sierra, the NASCAR racing sims every year. I actually still have my Thrustmaster steering wheel set with the paddle shifters and everything. The IndyCar racing game was super fun back in the day too, especially because there was a way you could hack it to load the NASCAR racing tracks onto it, and then you could also load the IndyCar tracks on the NASCAR game. So it was fun taking a NASCAR Cup car and racing at Australia, where the IndyCars used to open the season at, or Long Beach too. And that was even before NASCAR was running at the Brickyard. No, it wasn't. It was after, because they went there first in '94, and my mom passed away in '95, which is after I got my first computer. So yeah, I guess Indianapolis would have been on there anyways. Back up to third, chasing down the leaders. I just wish the other cars had to pit too, you know? It's one of those really unfair advantages the AI has, is the fact that their tires don't wear, they don't slow down, they turn the same lap speed, lap after lap after lap. They can throw the block and it doesn't spin them out or anything, and they never have to pit. Please tell me this is the white flag lap, otherwise I'm going to have to pit again. Alright, there we go, good. I'm catching second, I just am going to run out of time. There's a famous racer saying, I've never lost, I've just been a little bit behind when time ran out. But then again, second place is also the first loser. Hey, no problem, Eugene. Thanks for stopping by. I was a fan of the original Need for Speed and Gran Turismo to the Yeah, Gran Turismo Sports was yeah, I didn't like it a whole lot. I've got both an Xbox and Xbox 3 given to me, otherwise I would not have gotten one. Yeah, I've just never been a huge fan of the controller, quite honestly. Love Daytona USA. Yep. Le Mans 20. I haven't played Le Mans 24. So finished third there. It's got to move me up in the points. It does. 1 point out of 7th. So, Trickle, injuries to Rowdy more serious than feared. Stop. He needs you. Only you can save Rowdy Burns. So, let us see what we can do at Daytona. And this is actually the last race of the game. Let's see. What's the lap time? 24.9. I kind of wish they would start your first lap a little bit further back so that you can actually set your line going into turn 1. It's actually not going to be a bad first lap. Not great, but not bad. 25.4. There should be a flat in the car. And when I say a flat, that's I'm talking 25 flat. Ah. 25.1. I can feel right side tires are starting to give up a little bit in that corner there. And for those of you, I know one of my favorite TV shows is The Goldbergs. They actually feature the NES and the Atari, and they're on a pretty regular basis. 25.2, not going to get it done. I'm going to start top 3, I'm thinking. And this will be the last race of the evening before we wrap it up here. Because this is actually, like I say, the last race of the game. (25.1 to 25.4). Ooh, 4th. That's a terrible starting spot. All right, got through 1 and 2 cleanly. Setting our sights on the leaders. I really wish the draft were to come into play into this. Ooh, losing a little bit of pixels there. I hit the brakes, and yet I still hit the guy in front of me. That's a bunch of crap. All right, we're going to make a pass on the outside. At least try it. No, and in fact, I lost a spot there. Yeah, those brown cars just will not get off to the inside, and that's hurting me right now big time. So again, this is on the Gamerz Tek Super HD-2, 2-in-1 NES Super NES clone. Features HDMI outputs on it, 16:9 or 4:3 switch, PAL and NTSC switch, composite and HDMI out, I think I said that already, micro USB for power, and this is being powered off of my Chargen Pro supercharger. I tell you guys, I love that thing. I use it all the time. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, check out my review of that. So the other night, or the other morning, I realized I forgot to charge my Note 8 overnight, and it was down to 44% when I jumped in the shower. By the time I got out, it was at 89% after about 20 minutes. So that's using the USB-C port on there. Super, super awesome little charging stand, and it helps keep everything a hell of a lot more organized. I don't think we've got this one in us tonight, boys. They call it mellow yellow. Alright, we're running fourth, 7 laps in. Left side's on. I do wish there was a way that you could automate the pit crew. You know, I wonder if there's any Game Genie cheats for this. Kind of sort of the same track. I mean, some tracks do have more turns to it, even though they really shouldn't. And some are just plain shorter than others, too. But for the time, you know, we were absolutely thrilled to have this because it was the best out there at the time. Next to it was either this or Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge, because Sega wasn't producing anything. That's right, John. Nothing from Sega. So we've got 6 more of you hanging out here tonight. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes. I do want to thank you all for coming by. I do greatly appreciate it. Hope that you've enjoyed our checking out here of Days of Thunder for the NES. This was not requested, but done to help out Eugene Myers. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel at ECmyersVids. He does NES playthroughs every week, I think it's either Wednesdays or Thursday nights. He does different titles, some obscure, like he's done Days of Thunder, he's done Daydreamin' Davy. Other times he's done more mainstream games like Super Mario Brothers. Back up to 4th. Had to make an aggressive move there to try to move up one more spot. And that is a race. There are 6 Game Genie codes for this game. Oh, I actually do have a Game Genie, so I will actually look at it at some point in time and test that out. So we finished 4th there, 160 points. That puts us 7th overall in the championship. And that concludes Days of Thunder. Thank you all for coming by. We'll hang out for a couple minutes, see if you guys have any other questions. Otherwise, I'm tired and going to head to bed. Don't forget to hit that like button if this is your first time here. Go ahead and subscribe. That way every time we do. I make that joke every time. It's lame, but it's still what I do. Anytime we do live streams, we'll let you know. Also keeps you up to date, too, when we do upload and post new videos, too. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. You can always email us at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can support the stream through our Streamlabs link right there. And you can also join us on Patreon at patreon.com/rocksolidproductions. I'm sorry, just Rock Solid. And you get early access to all of our videos by doing that. So if we don't have any questions rolling in, we are going to call it a night. Stream for about an hour and a half tonight. Garage Gamer, thanks for stopping by. John, thanks for stopping by. I'll check and see what's going on, why your name was not showing up in the ticker, because it should have been. I don't know if I have to delete and re-add you, because whatever, I'll figure it out. If you are looking for more information on the Gamerz Tek Super HD-2. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. Again, we'll have the full-blown unboxing and reviews coming up very soon. Unboxing, shot, edited, will be rendering tonight. Will be uploaded tomorrow for Patreons and more. Tomorrow night I'm going to purchase the cables from Ryan for the Genesis. I hope he still has them. Let me scroll back up. He was here earlier tonight. Let me check in the chat. We have the SNES and Genesis cables now. The Saturn, PS1, and Genesis 1 adapters will be restocked next week. So depending on which version of the Genesis that you have, if you have the Model 2, you should be okay. If you have the Model 1 with the headphone jack and everything, he is out of the adapters right now. Don't forget to use promo code ROX10 at CastlemaniaGames.com. You can save 10% on just about everything on the website there, and anything that you order $20 and higher, you do get free shipping and handling. So I think that is going to do it for us here tonight. This will be available in the archive in a couple of days. I've actually got three other live stream archives I got to get up. Part 2 of Darkwing Duck that we had done. I did some tips and tricks on some of the editing stuff that I do, and I forget what the other one was, but there's a couple different live streams that this will be added to the archive. You have the Model 2, you should be good to go then, John. Like I say, I've got the Model 1, so I needed the adapter on mine. The other thing I wish that the Model 1 had was a little bit of wood grain, you know, like Atari 2600 style. But I'm weird like that, what can I say? So yeah, like I mentioned, videos coming out later this week. We'll have the unboxing of the Gamerz Tek Super HD-2 2-in-1 system, the Super Mini Gen, the 8-bit boy, and have a tutorial show on how I clean games that I just purchased with Bright Boy and 1-Up cards to help make the most out of them and kind of prevent cross-contamination from dirty games to my clean consoles. So that's going to wrap it up for me tonight. Retrolectors, I'll get to you. I'm going to try to figure it out tomorrow to get that information off to you, and we will get that going from there. Do me a favor, guys. Shoot me an email, rocksolidmail@gmail.com. I'm going to send you some screenshots of pretty much how I've got my stuff set up, and hopefully that will help you out as well. And we'll try to get you rocking and rolling sooner rather than later, too, to help you out with your live stream and go from there. So I want to thank you guys and gals and everyone for stopping by and hanging out. Hope you all had a happy and blessed Easter, and I will see you guys very soon. But for the time being, I am checked out, gone.